quarterback in NFL history, not franchise history, NFL history, to win each of his 4 career starts with a passer rating of 90 or higher in each game. Shannon, is this stat overrated or underrated?
It's overrated. Skip, Cooper Rush can yet to go out and show that he can win a game without the defense being exemplary. He has yet to trail by more than 7 points in the game. So, Skip, at that point in time, I don't really have to go get outside or do something that I can't possibly do, or I don't know I can't possibly do, because the game is always nip and tuck. He was down by 1 point on Sunday, and then all of a sudden he gets the touchdown, and then he's back up. He's back up by 6 points. He was down by 7 points against the Giants, and then he comes out, he scores a touchdown, he tied the game. They punt and force a 3 and out, and the next thing you know, they get the touchdown, go back down the field, and next thing you know, he's up 20-13. So he's never been in a situation where he's been down by 2 scores or more. And so that's when you find out about a guy. If I can just keep the game nip and tuck, and I can just during the course of the game, and then say the fourth quarter I make 2 or 3 throws and we win the game, I'm cool. But if I got to make play after play after play, well, that's going to be a different story, Skip. The Cowboys are averaging 23 points a game when Rush as the starter. They averaged 32 when Dak was the starter. I just believe that they call the game different, because in one situation you have what you believe is a franchise quarterback, and you run the game through him, which means throw. The other guy you have as a manager, a guy with a short sleeve shirt on, a headset. He's the manager. And you run the game through your offensive line, your running game, and you rely more on your defense. So it just seems to, maybe I'm the only one that sees it, but I do believe they call the game differently for Dak Prescott than what they call for Cooper Rush. With that being said, Skip, I'm not impressed. Come on. I'm going to be impressed when he goes out and gets me 30, and they win a ball game 31-30, or they win a ball game 35-34, and he has to throw for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's going to be impressive. But when you win a ball game 20-16, the man started 4 games. He has 4 touchdowns. He got 4 touchdowns in 4 games.
How many interceptions do you have?
He got none.
Huh.
Skip.
Interesting.
4 touchdowns. So let me ask you.
Wait, does he have any strip sack fumbles?
He's got
none.
4 touchdowns.
0 turnovers.
In 4 games.
Huh.
So that projection, that's going to give him in a 17-game season. That'll give him 17 touchdowns. You like that? What that guy going to get you?
Could it give me 17 wins?
No, he ain't going to give you no 17 wins. Because look, your defense is not going to hold everybody to 10. At some point in time, they're going to have a bad game. Guys going to miss some assignments. Guys going to miss some reads, blow some coverages, and the game's going to get away, and he's going to have to score 30-plus points in a game. And then we'll see. But I'm not impressed by it. I'm impressed by that defense that they've been able to do this.
Shannon Sharp, off the top of my head yesterday, I blurted this out to you, just free associating. I said, in all my years covering your sport, I cannot remember a quarterback playing better in his first 4 games than Cooper Rush has played in all 4 of his games. In totality, 4 games in a row, right out of the box, first 4 starts. I had no idea about this stat until last night. And all of a sudden, after you went crazy on me yesterday and said, that's just ridiculous, you threw Mahomes at me, right?
Yeah.
Well, Mahomes didn't have a passer rating of 90-plus in all 4 of his first games, but Cooper Rush has. And the point is, the stat backs me up. He's played clean football for 4 straight games. He's played winning football for 4 straight games. And I think you're underestimating just how hard this position is to play when you've never played it before in a real game, under the gun, especially when your first start is on Sunday Night Football and your third start is on Monday Night Football, and the other 2 starts are on big stages against the defending AFC champ and then against your arch rival Washington.
Right.
The point is, he has been extraordinary, and I'm happy he's getting none of the credit for being extraordinary. The position, do you remember Peyton Manning as a rookie getting thrown into the fire?
Yeah.
He led the league in interceptions.
Yeah, and I remember Peyton Manning at 28 years old winning MVPs, and that's what happens. But Peyton Manning was asked to do. Skip Bayless, you know good and well, they never asked Cooper Rush to do what Peyton Manning did in his rookie season. Peyton Manning, for day one, they said, Peyton, go do it. You read everything. Hey, all them checks and all that Omaha and all that stuff, Peyton Manning was doing that as a rookie. You believe Cooper Rush could do that right now? What Peyton Manning was asked to do? No.
Who was he throwing to?
Oh, he had Marvin.
Is he a good player? Oh, he's in the Hall of Fame?
C.D. Lamb. Is C.D. Lamb number one?
No, you told me he's average.
No,
you're in the Hall of Fame. I'm not. You told me C.D. Lamb is average.
He is.
Okay,
but
so here's the point about Patrick Mahomes. The reason he didn't qualify for 90-plus in his first 4 starts is the first start came at the very end of his rookie year.
Yeah.
And he got thrown in because none of the starters played because they were on the way to the playoffs with Alex Smith.
Yeah.
So he gets to sort of stick his toe in the water. And in this game, there's no Tyreek and no Kelsey, so he has a passer rating. We don't usually use it much on this show, but it's 76.4, so it's well under 100.
How many touchdowns did he throw for?
Okay, well, it doesn't matter because his passer rating threw a pick and it
3 tubs.
And it jacked his passer rating back down to 76.4. Cooper Rush has been over 90 in all 4 games, but what happened to Patrick when he got to start from the start in 2018? Guess what Tyreek did in his opening game at Chargers? Tyreek caught 7 balls for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns. Second game at Pittsburgh, Kelsey rises and shines. He catches 7 for 109 and 2 touchdowns. And then it's Kelsey again in week 3 against San Francisco. He catches 8 balls for 114 yards. Cooper Rush doesn't have a Tyreek. He does not have a Kelsey.
You told me C.D. Lamb. I tried to tell you.
Average. Average, says the Hall of Famer.
But that's not what you said.
Okay, and would you believe, who was Dak's favorite receiver, especially last year? It was the security blanket known as Dalton Schultz. What's happened to Dalton Schultz since Cooper Rush took over this year? What happened? First game against Cincinnati, he caught 2 balls, but at the end of one of his catches, what did he do? He fumbled. Would you believe that's the only lost ball that they've had all year? The only turnover they've had in Cooper Rush's 3 starts was courtesy of Dalton Schultz. Then he bangs up his knee. It's wrenched something. He doesn't play at Giants. Then he plays last week against Washington. He gets thrown 3 balls. He catches 0 for 0. 0 for 0. So the tight end production for Cooper Rush has been next to nothing. It's those 2 kids, the 2 rookies are in there,
but
right?
my point is, Skip, is that I understand that Mahomes had Tyreek and he has Kelsey, but they've also always asked Mahomes to do more. And in the game his rookie year in which he started, he didn't have those guys, and he still went out there and gave you 3 touchdowns and over 270 yards. So my thing is, for what I'm saying is that when you ask a quarterback to do more, they're not asking him to do a whole lot. Just don't mess it up. As opposed to putting everything on your plate and say, okay, son.
Are you telling me that Cooper Rush has been dinking and dunking?
No, Skip,
He's throwing the ball downfield like crazy. Okay. He threw for 325 at Minnesota last year in his first start, and it was a nip-tuck game, but he hit Amari for a 20-yard touchdown with 55 seconds left to win the game, 20-16.
I need him to be down by multiple scores.
All I know is I'm telling you, as a 4-game body of work, there's never been anything quite like this.
So in other words, you saying that 4-game body of work, he's going to be better than Mahomes if he gets a starting job?
Heck no. No, I'm not saying. I've never said that to you one time. He's not Mahomes, not Aaron Rodgers. He's not even Tom Brady. I'm just telling you, for 4 games, he has been off the charts extraordinary under the pressure. He does not have a run game to back him up. Do you realize?
He run game with Pollard.
Okay, well, one time he did. Where do they rank right now? Yards per rush. Where do they rank? Help me out. 25th in the NFL. He's got no run game. What's the quarterback's best friend? He doesn't have a best friend. He's flying solo. They're 25th in the league in rush yards per carry.
They way down there in pass yards per game, too.
Okay, but every time it's time to make a key throw for a big 3rd down conversion or a touchdown, he makes it. I got no problem with him. I'm as critical as they come. I would pick him to pieces. I'm just telling you, for 4 games, every time the money's pushed to the middle of the table, he makes the play.
But see, that's what I need.
Every time.
See, I need him to make those critical throws in the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, and the fourth quarter. Not because the game. Now I just make 3 throws because the game is tied. He's never had He's never had to do. Well, he did that one time against Minnesota. But I need to see him down by 2 scores.
Okay, but against Cincinnati, when everybody, the whole world proclaimed Dallas is dead without Dak. Even you got right. You went right to the edge of the cliff. I'm not
No,
sure
I
you
didn't
jumped
know.
over the cliff.
Because I looked at the Giants and I looked at the Washington football team.
Okay.
I said, so in worst case scenario, Skip, they're going to be 500.
Who set the tone in the Cincinnati game? Who got them off hot? Cooper Rush.
Pollard.
He was throwing it all over the field
Pollard
in the first quarter. Go back and look at the stats.
What about Pollard took it to the house?
He did, but
And
so
Zeke.
did Cooper Rush. He was winging it, and all of a sudden they shut it down. They tried to just run Zeke and run the clock. Would you believe, by the way, against Washington last week in the second half, little known stat, would you believe they had 5 runs that were negative yards, 5 minuses in the second half, and they managed to overcome because Cooper Rush kept making throws.
Well, you could have made those throws against Washington's defense.
Okay, well, you could be right, but you got to go make them. And you're playing the hardest position in sports, and you have no experience whatsoever. This is your 4th start in the league, and you do that.
I just want to know this year, Skip, tell me the quarterback that didn't have a great game throwing the ball against Washington's secondary.
Okay? It's arch rival. You know how division rivals go?
But when the arch rival is bad, they bad. Yeah, they fight for a little while, but guess what?
Okay.
At the end of the day, when you bad, you just bad,
Well,
and they bad.
They fought for a half because they were ahead 7-6 late in the first half. And this guy said, you know what? I got this. Boom, 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 right down the field. He converts a 3rd and 8 on a throw to Gallup, and then on a 3rd and 6 from the 11-yard line, he bolts the pocket and runs to his right. And even you said, boy, that was a heck of a throw.
Yeah, I'm giving
to Gallup, and that put him back ahead, and then here they go.
Yeah.
It's what Cooper Rush has been doing without